Hey all, this is David Ducker coming back at you, and today I'm going to be talking about wonders of your RPG world. Basically, these are great feats of natural geography and topography, or great feats of engineering, whether that be mechanical or magical. I was discussing this with my buddy Thomas Pattison on the DMs and GMs Facebook page. Not the greatest page in the world, but it is a page, and you can find good discussion on there as well. As I did this day, as I was speaking to him about wonders of the world, he said, I wish more campaign settings included this kind of thing. Great examples from real life history could be like the pyramids of Egypt, the Great Wall of China, the Hanging Gardens of Babylon, the Hall of 100 Pillars in Persepolis, of which I believe only 4 remain. 2,000 years, 3,000 years later, which is a pretty good track record. And I've had recently a lot of success incorporating Wonders of the World into my game as well. Currently I'm running Return of the Runefangs, set in the Warhammer Fantasy universe. Great universe. And just walking through the city of Nuln, which is our base, and being able to describe, the Golden Palace, which used to be the Imperial capital, or the Cathedral of Sigmar and its buttressed, vaulted ceiling, or the Great Bridge of Nuln, which spans the River Reich. This dwarf-built bridge, this enormous stone structure, or the Iron Tower, the impregnable prison rising from the center of the River Reich, or the Great Circus, which is like a racetrack or a coliseum in Falstadt, and how many people it seats, and just how huge it is. Just having these big architectural landmarks is added a lot of depth into the game. And they've just journeyed actually to Averheim, and already we've got a couple there. The Pillar of Skulls, the Old Dwarf Road, forged 2,000 years ago in the setting. The Palace of Skulls, which is I've called the Castle Averheim, which has never fallen to invasion in 2,000 years. All of its neighbors have, but the Castle of Skulls has never fallen. And in my game, every time they rebuild destroyed parts of it after a battle, they mortar in the skulls of the defenders. Actually, the skulls of the offenders go to the Pillar of Skulls, whereas the skulls of the defenders are built into the foundations so they can continue to guard the palace for all time. Just adding in these little details really makes your world so much more rich and interesting. In Spyria, for example, my last campaign, Legends of the Seven Sands, we had the last tree of the desert, this enormous Alf tree. We had the petrified forest. We had the salt flats. We had the mountains of fire, the sea of glass, the desert of black ash. When I say that it's the Legends of the Seven Sands, there were 7 distinct different deserts. They were all very interesting. So just adding in these elements, if you look at George R.R. Martin in his Game of Thrones, how he details each castle as being so different from the others. How Dragonstone has gargoyles, how Harrenhal's been melted by dragon flame, how the Red Keep is built of red sandstone, how Winterfell has hot springs which heat it during the cold winters, or Pike and the Iron Islands is all these different tors rising up out of the water, connected by bridges, and is buffeted by storms constantly. So just with your castles or your capital cities, You can do so much with them. Thomas was particularly speaking to natural wonders, like the Grand Canyon, Niagara Falls, the Great Barrier Reef, other natural wonders that you can come across. Where I'm more a fan of the engineered wonders, but definitely include both, include a mix, include lots of them, because it adds history, it adds depth, it adds interest. You know, how much more interesting is it to have a battle on top of the Iron Tower than to just have a battle on top of a generic prison? Or you know, how much more interesting is it to have a prison break out of the Iron Tower, which no one's ever escaped from, versus, again, something generic, just a generic prison or a dungeon beneath the castle. So really, it gives you a great way to make everything unique, interesting. And I've heard different people say, you know, for your world, do 7 wonders throughout the whole world. That way, when they hear about a foreign land, they have one point, at least, that they can really touch upon. Oh, the land of Egypt, that's where the pyramids are. Or the land of Persia, that's where the Hall of 100 Pillars is. Or I'm trying to think of some other ones here. France, the Eiffel Tower. Or England, you think of Big Ben, or you think of the Tower Bridge. So there's just you know, it creates a national identity, and even for foreigners, you've probably heard of this. And then you can zoom in and say, okay, well, here's my region. Let's do 7 wonders just of the region. And you could even zoom in again and do a city, and let's do 7 wonders of the city. Nuln, actually, again, they had sewers, which nowhere else in the Empire has a sewer system except Nuln, because it's built by dwarfs. Every dwarf citadel has sewers, some kind of drainage system. But in terms of human cities, only Nuln, in my setting, has that. So again, that's a unique property of the city. So I just wanted to share that. It's a great technique to flesh out the world, make the 7 wonders, zoom in, make another 7. It adds so much history to the game. And I'll be doing a separate video on history as well, and using history in your game. Both real history and your fantasy history. They're both good to draw on. So I'd love to hear about the 7 wonders of your world. Leave that in the comments below. What great architectural works or even great natural features have you incorporated? Tell me about it so I can steal your ideas, because I need all the ideas that my brain can hold to bring it back every week as a GM. You know, it can be tiring. So give me something to leech off of, guys. And I'm going to be signing out right now. Everybody have a good day. Cheers.